right, good morning. I think that's everybody who was in line. First off, thank you all. This is probably the largest gathering of city employees that I've seen since I've been here. I appreciate you all being here. I know some of you actually are here on a day off, or you're here in lieu of something else. So thank you all. I recognize that you're making a sacrifice being here today, either as your job, your productivity, your personal life, your time off, something of that nature. So I hope you all have gotten a feeling from your directors and from the way this is set up how serious and important this is. That's why we're here today. Now, I'm going to be the first one to tell you that I think about 6 months ago, I prayed that we were done talking about this. I was wrong, and that's why we're here right now. COVID is not gone. The original variant that we started out with, it has kind of played itself out. We're now dealing with some new issues. Our goal, and we have sat in directors' meetings and we've talked about this extensively, our goal is not in the public health realm. We are not, that's a council decision, that's a health department decision, that's a state decision. What we're here to talk about today is the policy and safety of our employees. And we're worried about this as directors and administrators for several reasons. Number one, we want to protect the health of our employees. And that's all of you, that's your coworkers. We want to protect you. We want to protect you from each other. Number two, whether you realized it or not, when you accepted a job with the city of Bartlesville, you entered into public service. We are here to serve the public, and we have to protect the public. So that's number two. Number three, all of us have a job to do. And all of us are here to provide services to the public. Again, doesn't matter where you work, whether you work for the library, the sewer department, the street department, the parks department, planning, engineering, accounting. I could name them all off, and I know I missed some of you, but I'm not trying to name everyone. I just want to make the point that for every one of us, we are here to serve the public. We're here to serve the public good in some way, shape, or form. Everything you do is vital. We have to be able to provide those services. COVID endangers our ability to do that. So you've got a policy. We're here to train on that policy today. We also have a doctor here with us that I'm going to introduce in a little bit after we do a quick policy review. That's what today is about. Today is to try to reduce the amount of COVID that we're seeing in our organization. That's it. That is absolutely it. This is a risk management document. This is a risk management session. We will never eliminate COVID in the city of Bartlesville. We're never going to completely eliminate the risk. We're trying to keep it at a low enough level to where your risk to your safety is acceptable, the risk to the public is acceptable, and we continue to be able to be efficient in the delivery of the services to the public that's why we're here for. We're here for them, not the other way around. So, got a couple of things I wanted to talk about before Laura came up. Number one, just a quick update on COVID cases. And so, some of you all probably follow this like I do. Some of you probably don't care and hoped that you would never have to worry about it again. I'm in both camps. I hoped I would never have to worry about it again, but I've been following it nonetheless. So, in early July, we had 0 COVID cases. In early July, Washington County was averaging 2 COVID cases per day. So, that was a baseline. It had bottomed out. Things were looking great. That's why I say that we really kind of thought we were done dealing with this. We hoped we were done dealing with this. On a weekly basis, it went from 2 to 4 to 6 to 17, 24, 37, and now it's at 43 as of last Wednesday. I expect it to be higher today than it was last Wednesday. And in fact, we just had a conversation with the doctor this morning that this is expected to last 3 more weeks before it peaks. So it's going to get worse before it gets better. If you're wondering what those numbers represent, it means that in that period of time, from early July to now, we are 22 times higher than mid-July. We're 43 times higher than we were in early July. So in our community, there is a lot of COVID spread. This is partially because our community has a very low vaccination rate. Washington County, we just heard from the hospital yesterday, Washington County has a vaccination rate 30%. The state of Oklahoma is only at 41. In states that have higher vaccination rates, they're not seeing the spread that we're seeing. So that's part of what we're going to talk about today. But talking about Jane Phillips Medical Center, as of Monday, they had 45 plus COVID patients in the hospital. That was on Monday. Now, if you aren't really familiar with Jane Phillips has somewhere between 100 and 120 physical beds. They can't staff all of those right now because of staffing shortages. So 45 COVID employees probably takes up over half of the beds in that hospital. So again, it's serious. It is a risk to you. It's a risk to your family. It's a risk to this organization, and that's what we're here to do, is to try to mitigate some of that risk. In our organization, speaking specifically, in early July we had 0 cases, and we'd had 0 cases for a long time. So these are the numbers that alarm me personally. You go beyond the public health, you go beyond what's going on in our community, you start talking about what's happening in our organization and how it can affect our ability to do our jobs. And we had 0 cases in early July. Since then, we've had 13 positive with 27 employees affected. So that's almost 10% of our employee population right now has been affected by COVID one way or the other. That's pretty significant. That's about a 30-day span, 10% of our employees lost time because of COVID. So just so that you all understand, those are really just measures to put in your mind so that you understand why we're here. Again, I want to keep you safe, I want to keep the public safe, and I want to ensure that we can deliver the services that it's our responsibility to deliver. Again, we're all public servants. With that, I'm going to turn this over to Laura, and she is going to go over the COVID policy. You all should have a copy with you right now. Oh, by the way, one last thing. If you got here super early and somehow didn't get signed in, make sure you do, please. If you do, before you leave. If you don't get signed in, then you have to watch this on video later. I'm sure once